Oh, 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 oh.
Hi, I'm
And
Kirsten.
I'm Celia.
And this is
Don't
Pee Your Pants. The heck was that? We're getting delirious.
My finger rockets.
No, I didn't mean like what were you doing? I meant like what the heck were we doing?
I knew that.
That's definitely gonna make too much noise. Oh my god! Something really bad is happening.
Well, that's warm.
What was that?
I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, let's get judged.
All I can think about is the guy.
For ya. That's the only word I know.
Everybody's gonna know.
For ya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm.
Do you have anything to talk about? We're
Oh
kind
my
of
god, that just scared me.
we're kind of delirious because do you need to get that?
No,
Are you busy?
I am. Yeah. This is actually during my billable hours.
We just did like a lot of editing the podcasts and
Mhm.
stuff and Sheesh.
Yep. That was a lot of. Well,
So if
actually,
our
we
sound
didn't
sounds
do-
really good, let us know. If it sounds really bad, let us know.
we didn't do anything. Actually, Jameson
Yeah.
did everything, but
Our professional computer manipulator.
our sound daddy.
Yeah, the sound daddy sounds way better
Whoa,
than what I
that's
said.
really good. I like it.
Okay.
Sound daddy.
Yeah, sound daddy. Sound daddy is working hard on sound magic.
Daddy sound magic.
But we both were sitting here like actually having some pretty much gold.
I know. It's a shame that none of it was recorded.
Well, it was.
It's
Some
a
of it.
shame that only a little bit of it was recorded.
Maybe if I find like some good clips from it, we'll like add them in somewhere
Yeah,
to this podcast.
you should, because it's probably
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
He'd be like, talk quiet, and then we'd have to like make up a story.
it would get
Talking
sexual.
quiet.
For some
And
reason,
then he'd be like, talk loud, and we'd be like, oh my god, did you hear about that thing? And we're just being ridiculous.
for some reason, when you like slowly talk, it translates to sexuality.
Yeah, because everyone, when they're feeling horny, starts.
They talk like this.
They're like, oh my god, I'm so horny.
That's what I do. I sit there
I
and go,
really want penis.
and that's how Jameson knows. I'll just be sitting on the couch and I'll just go,
Hey, Jim. He's like, all right, I'll meet you upstairs in 5 minutes.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love getting some insight on your sex life. I feel like
It's not very
I feel like
sexy
it's
at
weird
all.
because like we have like a friendship that doesn't always cross those lines.
Yeah.
Like we're like kind of like sisters. Like I'm like I want to know, but then like oh that's too much. We do it to each other.
Yeah.
Like you're like I'll be like oh my god the other day Neil was and you're like ah. He kissed my no.
No. Pew, pew, pew.
But then other times we can totally talk about it and it's fine. It's just like I don't know.
Well, now
We've
you
gotten too close.
know. Now you know my mating call.
Well, now I know. That's why you were doing that the other night.
Speaking of those noises,
Yeah. What?
you know what we're going to talk about today?
No.
Yeah, you do.
I know briefly what we're going to talk about, but I know nothing.
All right, what are we talking about?
Submarines.
The submarine, baby. I've
Yeah.
been obsessed with the submarine.
Yeah, she's like, oh my God, I collected so much information. I've been researching it. I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait to talk
Dude,
about
I'm
it. And I was like, I don't
invested
know what
in
you're
this.
talking about. And she was like, what?
Dude, all the memes, it's literally the number one thing that everybody on my Facebook and TikTok and everything is talking about. It's my whole entire feed. That's it. It's just this submarine.
Well, I haven't really been on like TikTok too much recently
We'll
or
get back.
anything.
I
but
haven't either. But of
but
course
I went on TikTok like literally while I was here before we started recording, and I was scrolling through and I didn't see nothing about submarines. I think we're just on different talks.
I was about to say, and because we were talking about it, it came up on your feed.
No.
Well, now it will because we're about to have a whole
Actually-
conversation and your phone is listening. So when you go
actually-
home and watch TikTok tonight, it's going to be all of it.
I know.
I know.
Well, actually, I did watch, I think, part of one because you sent me a Simpson thing.
Oh, yeah, that'll...
And I was watching it and was like, I have no idea what this is.
Fuck.
So it was like confusing me.
Well, don't be confused because I'm about to knowledge you.
Does that come up or can I talk about that?
Let me get my notes. There's
No,
poopy
does
on
the
this page.
Simpsons come
See the
up? I
poop?
mean, see the poopy on this page? I just didn't know what to say. I'm like, yep. There's poopy on the page. I see the poo poo. Whose is it?
I don't know. Let's do a DNA test.
Which one of my kids pooped on this book?
You see this? You see this poop right here? Oh, wait. It says Olivia.
Oh, Olivia
Ooh,
pooped here.
ooh, gicked me say Olivia 3 times. Olivia pooped.
Wow.
Anyway.
Does that have to do with the submarines?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So I'm
Now
gonna.
I'm gonna get learned.
You're gonna get learned today.
All right.
All
Here,
right.
hold the shark.
So
Whoever holds the
Oh,
shark gets
yeah,
to
we're
talk.
doing a new thing where whoever has the shark can talk, and if you don't have the shark, you can't talk. So if you catch
Wait.
her talking without the shark,
If you don't want me to comment at all, you just want me to sit here silently.
no, you can comment.
Okay. Okay.
Just make sure you have the shark. I'll leave it in a neutral place. All right, so I took notes so that I wouldn't, because my ADD would never let me tell this story completely, and I probably still will skip around because
yeah.
it's just not
Yeah,
gonna... Okay. Thank you.
I'm not gonna remember.
This is important.
This is gonna be a distraction.
All right. Okay, let's get started. Titan. Okay, so the submarine's name is the Titan. I don't know if it's but it's Titan. Submarine. And the company that owns the submarine is Ocean Gate.
Okay.
Okay, so backtrack. See, I told you. Even with my notes, this is never going to work.
Okay.
But it's going to work. It's
You
going to
have
work.
to backtrack before you just described the name of the company.
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
it.
trying to like just start.
Okay.
So
okay.
everything that happened,
Mhm.
this submarine went missing.
Hmm.
It was supposed to stay in contact with, I don't fucking know. I do know, but my brain's not letting me remember. It was supposed to stay in contact with this world up here. It was going down to see the wreckage of the Titanic.
Okay.
That was
I'm with
where,
you.
which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 13,000 feet down. It's like way down like
Way
farther down than any other. There's very, very few things that can go down to this depth without completely being
Haven't-
destroyed.
I mean, people have been to the Titanic before. Not like the first time.
No, it's not the first time.
Okay.
But like I'm saying, there's very, very few things in this world because it's so far down in the ocean.
Got it.
It doesn't sound like it's that far down, like 13,000 feet. To me anyway.
Sounds like a lot to me.
To me anyway, I feel like that doesn't sound like it's that far down. Like, okay, 13. I'm thinking like 300,000 feet down sounds like a lot. But 13,000 feet maybe doesn't sound as much. But it's really fucking far down. Farther down than any other thing can go. There's a lot of pressure down there. It's far down enough that there's no daylight down there anymore.
Right.
Like, it's completely black. You can't see anything.
Okay.
So anyway, there's a submarine, goes down there, is supposed to stay in contact with the up here world and loses contact. They don't have a ping. They lost this submarine completely and it was missing. So it was like this whole thing.
That's really scary.
Because
That's why I don't do that.
you don't go on random submarines?
I don't get in submarines.
No. Yeah.
I don't want to be
I used to back in my crazy days, but I only been down to the Titanic twice. That was crazy back
I don't want to
then.
be even in the water like up to here.
No, especially not
I'm
down
good.
where there's no daylight.
Mhm.
Okay, so there were 5 people on this submarine.
Oh, geez.
You've never heard of them before, but you will after today. They all paid what? I'm doing good. They all paid.
You just like you get this like voice when you're just
Like what?
I don't know, you're like just like all of a sudden you're the teacher or like you're like you're gonna learn about it. Well, you're gonna today, class.
You're not touching the shark. Why are you talking?
Sorry.
This is
That
gonna
was
turn
aggressive.
violent quickly.
Listen.
Listen, all the dogs are going crazy right now.
Sorry.
All right, back to the story. Student.
Okay.
This is gonna get kinky. Student.
You like bite the end of your glasses.
Okay. So they all paid $250,000. So there was 5 people
To go see the Titanic?
Yes, this is a privately funded company. They don't have any like government funding, nothing. So I think everything that's funded from this for this mission is from the people that paid to get on it. If I'm not, I might be wrong, but that's what I understood anyway.
Okay.
So there was 5 people on there. Shahzada Dawood, which you will learn about him.
Okay.
He is very I think he's into space and shit. He like explores space and whatever. His son, Suman Dawood, he was only 19. Stockton Rusk, he was the CEO of Ocean Gate. He was the one that was the CEO of the company that owns the submarine.
Okay.
And Paul Henry Nargolet, I'm probably butchering these names. He was a French pilot, I believe, but he was a sub pilot on this submarine. And Hamish Harding, who was a British billionaire.
Okay.
Those were the 5 people that were on here. They all paid
Everyone was like somewhat qualified
for what?
except for just a random billionaire.
Yeah, I guess.
Or like I don't know. It sounded like they all like were supposed to be there and then just a billionaire.
No, I think if I remember correctly, he had they all had the subcategory of
Like working for the company
research.
or research. Okay.
Yes. So they all paid a significant amount of money to be on this journey.
Okay.
And so they all go down. Oh, let me read my notes. They all go down and they get lost. So let's get into the nitty gritty. There are conspiracy theories now
Okay.
about what happened. So before they, I feel like I remember how many times they went down, but I feel like I'm gonna get this wrong. They've been on it. I think they've been down to the Titanic at least 4 times. So
Same group?
yes, no, not this group of people, but this
The
submarine.
same. Got it.
This guy, the CEO, Stockton Rusk. He's a fucking shiesty guy, man. So
He's been down there 4 times?
I'm pretty sure yes.
Got it.
So this submarine, guess how they controlled it?
How?
A gaming controller. It literally looked like a PlayStation controller. It was a fucking he said it. It was a
Pretty accurate.
gaming controller. He's like, you take this, go up, down, side, side. And I was like, what the fuck? You're like doing that thing with a gaming controller? I would not feel comfortable with that. I would
Really,
like,
though?
no.
I feel like it would be accurate.
I don't know. And then there was like 2 touch screens in there.
Mm-hmm.
So there are apparently multiple lawsuits against this guy, Stockton Rusk. There's a couple that purchased an expedition and they paid $500,000 because there was 2 that I think there was a couple and a wife and they each paid $250,000 and they canceled it multiple times. They paid all this money and they were supposed to be paying it in like payments, and then something happened, they canceled it, and then they had to pay all of it at one time. So they ended up paying like $200,000 of it all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they rescheduled it, I think 3 or 4 times, they were like, okay, we got it this time. We're going to do this. You're going to be on this one. And they were like, no, like you've already canceled this 4 times. We want a refund. And then he was like, no, I'm not refunding you your money. So they sued him. Again, this is like before they went down and got lost. This was very, very recent that there's multiple lawsuits against him.
I thought you said they canceled paying it.
No, they paid the whole amount.
They paid, but then
Ocean Gate canceled
they
it.
canceled the trip.
Yes. They
Okay.
canceled the trip
What
for
was their
multiple
reason?
reasons.
Did they have one?
So the first one was there was a couple of unknown reasons why they canceled it. One of them was because they couldn't conduct all of the safety tests that they needed to conduct, which you'll learn later on that they never did anyway, because that's going to come into play when I get into the second lawsuit.
Okay.
But the one reason was because they couldn't conduct all these safety tests and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they just kept canceling it over and over and over and over again. And then they finally were just like, you know what? We want our $500,000 back and we don't want to go on this expedition anymore.
Yeah.
So then that leads me to my second lawsuit. A previous employee who was working on the submarine in 2018 said that it was not safe to go down to the depths that they had it going down to, because he was so the CEO hired this guy to conduct safety tests on it to make sure that everything was safe to be going down to the depths.
Yeah.
And he said that it absolutely was not safe. And this was back in 2018. And then they fired him after he said that it wasn't safe.
Okay.
He had him conduct the test. Or the CEO had this guy conduct the test and then fired him after he said that it was not safe to go down to the depths that it was going down to. And then
Hopefully for another reason, but still shady.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, there's 3 sides to every story. There's his side, her side. His side, and the truth. So, I mean, I can't say
like
that...
I feel like it's easy to be like, oh, well, he was fired because they didn't get the answer they wanted.
Well,
but also, like, he could have kept not showing up to meetings, or like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
like, it could have been something like
right.
that you normally get fired for.
I'm not saying we have
Maybe
the
he
whole
stole
story,
money
but
out of the register. I don't know.
you're not wrong. I'm not. We don't know the whole story,
Yeah,
but it's just convenient that he got fired.
Right.
He said that
Plays along well with the story.
he got fired. Within 10 minutes of him telling them that it wasn't safe. They said that he had 10 minutes to clean out his desk and leave the premises.
Oh, maybe that was it.
It's just a little shiesty. Also, the CEO, I watched this interview and it was him. It wasn't like it was like something I heard third party or anything. I watched an interview and I quoted word for word. The interview that I watched he said, and I quote, "I would like to be remembered as an innovator. General MacArthur said, you are remembered for the rules that you break, and I have broken some rules to make this. They said you don't mix carbon fire and titanium. Don't do that. Well, I did." And he was quoted saying that he did stuff that he wasn't supposed to do on the submarine.
Okay.
So there's a lot of speculation around that.
And when you say he, this is the
CEO.
ocean guy.
Yes, this
Okay.
is Stockton Rusk.
Stockton.
Yes.
Remember that.
Stockton. I know, I can't remember his name. I have to keep going back to
Well,
the
what
page.
about what was the guy
Who?
that got fired? The scientist guy?
Yeah, I didn't write down his
The
name.
safety guy?
Yes.
He never came out and like said anything?
What about what?
I don't know. You would think like if you got fired for trying to keep people safe that
Well,
you
he
would like
sued them.
Oh, okay.
This was the second lawsuit.
I'm like he had to have done something
Yeah,
to get revenge, but I could even just see him on TikTok like these guys all died because they didn't listen to me.
I mean,
idiots.
I'm waiting for that video to come out.
Yeah.
That was the second lawsuit. I mean, and I don't know if there's any more, but that was the second lawsuit that the company had against them.
Okay.
Because he was saying that he was wrongfully fired because he told them of their flaws and they didn't want to hear it, so they fired him. That was what he was suing the company for. And they settled out of court. So I don't know if they like paid him off or...
We did get fired for those reasons. It couldn't have been like he didn't show up to meetings.
Yeah, they settled out of court.
Okay.
So I don't know. There was no saying what he settled for, but he settled out of court. So they probably paid him off.
Got him to keep his mouth shut.
Probably. They were like, "We'll give you $1 million. Shut up."
Yeah.
He was like, "All right, bet."
Yep.
The where was I? So the passengers had to sign a very, very extensive waiver. Am I boring you?
No, I'm sorry.
No, I know it's boring. It's
I'm
not
just
as boring when
pregnant
you're
and
watching the videos.
Past
But
8 o'clock.
it's boring to hear about, I know.
No, it's
No,
not
it's fine.
boring.
It's fine. We can just... No. Okay. So the passengers sign a...
I'm already asleep.
The passengers sign a crazy waiver before they go... You're going to dream about the submarine. You're going to dream that you're on the submarine.
I really can't open my eyes. Hold on. All right, I'm on board.
Be in the submarine.
Honk, honk.
I don't think it has a horn.
Oh, they're not boats.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Let's go.
Okay. So apparently the submarine didn't have a bathroom either. It had like a black box that you could squat over.
You just poop in a
And
box.
there was like a curtain
yeah.
you could pull across for some privacy.
That sucks.
They said this thing was the size of a minivan. That's how big it was, with 5 people in it.
Do you know how long the trip was supposed to be?
I want to say it was only supposed to be 1 day. They had enough oxygen in it for 96 hours, which I didn't do the math of how many days that is, but I want to say that's like 4 or 5 days.
Well, yeah, 48 hours is 2 days.
So it's probably 4 days, right?
3 and some.
Yeah, so whatever, 96 hours. is
But it was
how
only
much
supposed
oxygen.
to be like 24.
I think so, yeah, because
Okay.
if I remember correctly, they only brought enough food and water for like a day or two.
Okay.
So it wasn't supposed to be that long. So it was a lot longer than they expected.
Okay.
But they had to sign a crazy waiver before they went down that said, in quotes, "This is an experimental vessel and has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, emotional trauma, or death." Why are you laughing?
Because I started yawning again and I was like, oh, I got caught.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. And also, the back of your book has like somebody
Poop on it?
else's name on it.
Listen, Cyan
Like,
Rodriguez in grade 2.
You stole Diane's notebook for this?
I did. I was like,
Sorry.
I was walking down the street and I was listening to this to the.
You're like, give me that notebook,
I was
kid.
like, I need to take
Second
notes.
grader. Give me that.
Stupid second grader, Cyan Rodriguez.
And no.
No, it's like cayenne pepper.
I know, I'm just, I'm always like on the hunt for names.
No, what about Rodriguez?
Oh, little Roddy.
Roddy Waddy.
Hey, Rod.
Roddy Waddy.
Roddy. No, it's not it. It's not it.
Got it.
All right.
Tag.
All right.
Oh. All right.
I'm back.
All right. All right. All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So some of the and the symptoms.
This is not a joke. I'm trying to get back on track.
The Simpsons.
You want to hold the shark?
The Simpsons predicted this. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to in the beginning.
Did you watch it?
Barely.
The
But
Simpsons?
you sent it to me, and I saw them going down in the submarine.
Yeah. So
But
you
then,
have to
like-
watch. You have to like hear the not the TikToks, but like
I have to hear the story and
you have
then
to
watch
hear
the
the story.
Simpsons
Yes,
thing.
and then that's what I was gonna say, and watch
Yeah.
the Simpsons TikTok.
Because if you don't know, which you probably already know, everybody knows that the Simpsons always somehow like predict the future.
I know.
It's really weird, like down to the T. Like, remember the Trump one?
Yeah.
Where he's just going down an escalator,
But it's like
and he's like waving and
it's
like
the
all,
exact
it's
thing.
literally like the same picture, like the same
I
camera
know they
angle.
put it side by side next to the real thing, and it
Yeah.
was like the exact
It's like
same thing.
how did they even predict like not only the fact that he was going to be president,
Right.
but then also the fact that he was going to be riding an escalator at the exact same angle.
Mhm.
It's just weird. It's weird.
Super fucking weird. So, although I did watch that clip, and it's not exactly what happened. They did predict this happening,
Okay.
but it's not to a T what happened.
Yeah.
So they predicted that he got stuck in like a coral reef
Okay.
and he ran out of oxygen. That's not exactly what happened, and I'll get to that.
Okay. Okay.
So some of the conspiracy theories, there's some wild ones out there, but some of the conspiracy theories are, there was this book written in 1898 called The Wreck of the Titan, which was the name of the submarine, and it predicted, it was written in 1898, which was X amount of years. If I'm not wrong, the Titanic was in 1912.
Okay.
I could be very wrong. But anyway, so this was like 14 years or so before the Titanic crash. This
It said 1998.
1898.
Oh. Okay.
1898 this book was written.
Okay. Okay.
The Titanic was in 1912. So I think the book was about like how the Titanic sank, and it was like exactly what happened in the Titanic,
Yeah.
but somehow was written like so many years before the Titanic.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then just so happens to be the same name as the submarine that went down. The people on board knew too much and accidentally died. So the one guy shot Shahzada Dawood.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like the way you say it. Okay.
Yeah. Shahzada. Shahzada. Dawood. Shah Shahzada
It's only
Dawood.
sad because this guy's probably dead. We're like,
No, I'm not laughing at his name. I just can't say
you're
it.
just laughing at your pronunciation.
So he was one of the people that they said knew too much. And there was, I think, the British billionaire, Hamish Harding. He was also one of the people, but I didn't write him down for some reason. So he was one of the people. He was on the trustee of SETI, which is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence.
Cool.
And as his role as a trustee member, that gave him access to some of the most sensitive and groundbreaking research related to extraterrestrial intelligence.
Cool.
And they think that he knew too much and they had to get rid of him. And this was
how it always is.
This was the accidental way to do it.
Yeah.
Also, they said that if this thing were to float to the surface, they wouldn't be able to get out. It's bolted from the outside. There's a whole team of people that need to unbolt it from the outside to get them out.
Oh, okay.
So they wouldn't even
if it's risen to the surface somewhere else.
Yeah.
And their team's not there to unbolt it.
They
I
would
see.
they would still be trapped in there and probably die. So that was one of the theories, that they knew too much and, you know, they had to go.
Okay.
This is a distraction, which I don't think is necessarily a conspiracy theory because I think it's true. This is a distraction for something bigger that's going on. Like,
yeah, I feel like they say that every time something happens.
they do.
Yeah.
But this is where everybody's attention is right now. And there's like something else going on that they're like not.
Is that code for aliens?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like it usually happens when there's like, I don't know, political shit. Like if there's like a vote happening, then all of a sudden
there is a presidential
COVID
election. Ding ding ding.
There is right now?
No, isn't it this year? This year. I don't know.
I don't know nothing about that.
I don't either. I don't vote. Come at me.
Bro.
This was just a ruse, and there was actually nobody on the submarine, and they're on a secret island somewhere, not dead.
Mm-hmm.
They just wanted to disappear for unknown reasons.
No, it's like, no.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these are a little out there, but like they're sipping.
Like, it's not like it's
sipping
like
drink on the beach,
like
watching this all happen.
Not like they're a close family or something, or like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Like, you want to disappear with just random people that are just rich?
Maybe. Like I said, the one guy had a bunch of lawsuits against him. Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm like, so I keep getting uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, get comfortable.
Give me a break.
Get comfortable, Bali.
I'm gonna spit up now.
Comfortably. Comfortably. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like every time I laugh. Dude,
My
when
throat
you
did so many weird things when I did that.
When you watch this back, just count how many times my head goes back. Like,
I'm just gonna clip them all together.
That's the whole video. I just did it like 5 times. It's just like natural for me to throw my head back when I'm laughing.
That is not what I do. I just look at you and go. Oh, my nose flares a lot.
I don't think mine does.
like
I'm,
we
panting.
get closer to the mic so you can hear it. Hold on. You hear it?
You hear my nostrils?
My nostril. Also, like now that I have Santa belly, when I laugh, it's like my whole body laughs with me. It's hot in here, dude.
I'm sweating. It's getting hot in here.
Okay, I feel like intermission's over. Let's go.
All right.
Oh wow.
Ow.
You get more teachery, and then at the end, you gotta like rip your bun out and take your
That
glasses
was loud. I wonder
off.
if you heard that.
Oh,
All
we
right.
heard it.
Do you remember where I was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No.
conspiracy theories that there's somewhere watching this
Oh
happen.
yeah, they're
They
living
just-
on an island.
They
somewhere.
wanted to disappear, but they're not actually dead.
Okay.
Because when you hear what actually happened, which I just discovered about an hour ago, like an hour before we started rolling film, when you hear what actually happened, it's kind of plausible.
Okay.
So,
Well, let's keep going then, because now I'm curious.
it was the ghosts of the Titanic. They were pissed off.
Right.
And if you believe in ghosts, viable.
I was kind of thinking maybe not ghost, but I was starting to get like Bermuda Triangle vibes.
Yeah.
Like
ooh, and
oh,
it
a
just
big
so
giant ship
happens-
just happens to go down there, and then also a submarine, and now like what else is going on around there?
well, apparently right around where they were, there was boats sinking
Yeah.
because of orcas?
Magnets. Oh,
Yeah, magnets.
maybe there's a big giant alien magnet bottom of the
Well,
ocean.
the guy was on the trustee of the extraterrestrial board.
Yeah.
Aliens.
They're like, anytime a boat comes past here,
Eat
I'm gonna
it.
magnetize
I mean,
you
not
down
eat
to the
it.
bottom.
Magnetize it. I was thinking whales still. Because apparently there was killer whales that were attacking boats and sinking them. Right?
Also, killer whales don't attack boats.
Well, apparently.
No. You ever watch Blackfish, dude?
No.
Apparently they're like pretty friendly, actually. And the only reason
Then
they're
where'd you get-
like killer whales is because people like torture them and
And kill
put them in
them.
captivity and rip them away from their babies.
And they get pissed off.
So they get pissed off.
Which rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like of course they're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
They're actually like super friendly, I think, in the wild.
Yeah.
So just another reason why that's a weird place, I guess. The magnets are messing with the orcas.
They are. They're like, ooh, apakataka.
Oh
And
yeah.
then they're like,
And then when they do that, they accidentally knock the ship over. We were both right. They're not angry. They're just partying.
yeah.
And apparently mentally insane.
I think that's actually like the sounds they make too. They're like, ooh, like it's like sonar.
Oh, we already had an episode where we did whale sounds. It's so fun though.
Yeah. We're not making fun of this tragedy, just so everybody knows.
I'm not making fun of whales because I love
And,
them.
and we love whales. I'm gonna get a shirt. This
We-
is I Heart Whales.
We literally have, this is our third episode where we're talking about whales. I'm not kidding.
Should we just I Heart Whales?
Definitely need a whale back here, like a sign.
Yeah.
It's our first.
Perfect. Oh! Bye, whale.
It was a shark. It was offensive to the whales anyway.
Speaking of sharks,
Let's go to the next topic.
so there was a shark tracker app.
Mm.
I think it was called like Oppie Moppy.
Yeah.
Something.
Oppie Moppie Shark app. I knew. I think you should. Can we like write on your neck? Like, ha ha ha. Every time you do that, people can
My
read
hands
what's
go
on
like
your
that.
neck. LOL.
Come on, dude. You made it come out my neck.
And it's fizzy. That would be so funny. We're just like
Let me
intermission.
Please hold. Wait, I don't think it. Please hold. I don't know if they heard that.
Oh, come up with something.
Let me just go get a tat real quick.
That was so good. You gotta get it really like up here so nobody can normally see it.
Yeah.
Like real
Actually,
up
I
in
should
the
just get it on the bottom of my chin.
yeah. Like like in a crease. Do you have any fat rolls there?
Yeah, probably.
And then when you stretch out, people are like, "What?"
Oh yeah, that's my sign.
Please hold. Well, the whole paragraph. Please hold. Something you said was extremely funny. I'm gonna need a minute. Thanks. Love, Delia.
Yeah. Okay, well.
That was good stuff. I'm just so
Write a letter.
sweaty.
Here, wait.
You need a Sharpie. That's not gonna work. Anyway.
Okay, well, so Shark app, Abby Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I'm sorry to have to do that. It's hard to.
I'm gonna give you a neck brace.
I know. Everyone will be like, why is Delia in a neck brace? What happened?
She threw her neck out from laughing so much.
She's just trying not to laugh.
Here lies Delia. She broke her neck from laughing too much.
Die.
You might.
Well, that's how I go. That's how I go. That's a good way to go. I'd rather go laughing
That's-
too much.
No, because then I'll probably be the one that kills you.
You'd be like, hey, James, she's dead down there.
Something happened to her neck.
Well, it's on film, so. Okay, well, so,
All right.
Shark app.
Just get serious.
Yeah, that made me serious. So, what are you doing?
I'm focusing.
Focus on cyan. So there's this shark tracker app. So sharks swim in patterns.
Mm-hmm.
They track sharks to learn their
Yeah.
patterns and learn things about sharks.
Yeah.
So on this app, there's 2 sharks and they named them, and I didn't write down the names. Let's call them Bob and George.
Okay.
Bob and George, 2 sharks that they have tagged, they swam out of their pattern. And they just so happen to swim to where the Titanic wreck was.
Okay.
So they are theorizing that this shark tracker app picked up the location of the submarine when they couldn't find it.
Oh.
And apparently the app is now no longer working.
Oh.
Like, they shut down the app, which is super sus. Because there was this guy.
I would like to know, like, it's not just tracking like a specific tag
Right.
on a shark. It's just
Right.
like, picking up anything in those
So,
areas.
The
or,
guy,
like,
so the guy that apparently was that I was listening to, I don't know how much he knows about sharks or whatever, but he was saying that, sharks very rarely swim out of pattern.
Right.
And he's like, the chances of 2 sharks swimming out of pattern to the exact location where the Titanic was and like where the submarine was supposed to be, the chances of that happening are so minuscule that like it had to be something else.
Right.
And now the app's not working, like out of nowhere. Like what? That's super suspicious.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then they heard banging. I actually listened to the video clip. They recorded the audio. They heard banging for 30-minute intervals for 4 hours on the sonar a couple days ago. Like when they first went out there. And then they heard it. That scared the shit out of me. I don't know if you heard that, but like
we're talking about hearing banging noises, and then like the loudest banging noise just happened. I feel like they probably could hear that. That was loud.
God. Somebody just dropped something upstairs.
Woo!
And my heart just dropped out of my butthole.
Listen, Sound Daddy. You're not doing a good job right now.
Come on, man. Come on. So they heard it a couple days ago, and then they heard it again yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that it was tapping, it was consistent and it was in a pattern, which means that it was either like a human or some kind of intelligent life form that was doing that.
Or a machine.
Right. But like an animal or,
right.
wouldn't do it in a pattern.
Right.
So they heard that. But that doesn't make sense when you find out what happened.
What do you mean they heard that? Someone was like put their ear in the ocean?
Oh,
and was
sorry.
Like,
I should have clarified.
No,
there
okay.
was a Canadian aircraft carrier, one of those big, you know what an aircraft carrier is? Like a big ship.
Okay.
It was traveling over that area, and its sonar picked up the banging.
Okay. Got it.
I should have clarified that.
I'm with you now.
I feel like I'm in school, and did you ever build like a folder for it on your desk?
No.
Really? I used to do that all the time. I used to take 2 folders.
You weirdo.
2 folders and like this
Mm-hmm.
on my desk and make like my own cubicle.
Yeah. And you're like,
no, that's what I feel like I'm in right now. Look at Cyan.
I can still look at you on the video.
Oh, blur that out.
Okay, because nobody's allowed to know you have a finger.
Put like a chicken there or something.
Okay.
Anyway. So now
Really, we have this up
Aww.
at all times. I'll put that over
blur
your
that
finger.
out. Put a chicken there.
I'm gonna cut that out and put it over your finger.
Do it. So while all this is happening,
Mm-hmm.
one of the billionaire's stepsons, he went to a Blink-182 concert while his stepdad was missing.
Okay.
And he tweeted about it, and he said, it might be distasteful being here. So he had a picture of himself too. He said, it might be distasteful being here, but my family would want me to be at this Blink-182 concert because they're my favorite band.
Okay.
I think that's a little weird because, like, it's one thing to just go to the concert, but why are you saying stuff? Like, people will 100% pull that out of context. Like, your family member is missing, potentially dead on a submarine.
Yeah.
And you're, like, posting about going to a Blink-182 concert because it's what they would have wanted for you. Like, that's a little weird.
It doesn't bother me because I'm just like, people grieve in all different ways, and he might, because he's missing, he might be like you're not going to be like, oh, well, let me cancel all my plans for the next month until I find him. Like,
no, but
and you're still, you're like probably grieving some days, and then other days you're like, well, he might not be dead, or he might.
I agree
not.
that you
Like,
grieve
have
in
hope
different ways, but
yeah.
I think it's weird that he posted about it.
Yeah, I guess
feel
if
like
it's,
that's
especially if it's such a big story, you should probably just
right. And I feel like it's
keep it
very
on the
attention
DL.
grabby.
Yeah.
and like just super fucking weird.
Also, like, how old is the kid?
He looked younger, but in the middle, like 20s, 30s.
Okay.
He wasn't young, but he
Yeah.
wasn't old. He was like somewhere in the middle there.
I was gonna say, like, if he's just, you could just be young and stupid, but you can also be young and stupid when you're in your 20s and 30s.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're a billionaire's stepson, like
yeah,
I've
maybe he was
never
babied,
I've
never
never
matured.
been a billionaire or a billionaire's stepkid, but I can imagine that there was some privileged I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming. Am I stereotyping?
We're definitely assuming, but I kind of understand what you're saying. Like, when your problems can be paid for and you
Right.
get away with stuff,
Yeah.
you don't go through the hard stuff, and then you don't mature. Like, anytime that you go through something terrible or hard,
See, you knew exactly what I was
You
trying
get-
to say.
more mature.
Yes.
And you get smarter because of it and
Right.
wiser.
You can't just throw money at
and
it.
if
be
daddy
done.
can just fix it all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
That's assuming. That might not be his
I
life at
know,
all.
but that's what I mean. Like I'm stereotyping.
But he, whether he's rich or not, he did a dumb thing.
And then Cardi B called him out on it.
Yeah.
It's really fucking funny, and you should watch the video of that.
Okay.
She's like, "Wait, daddy da toyo ta kari nam."
I just did it.
It was up to this stuck in a submarine.
He duck. Okay.
Anyway,
I'm gonna watch that for sure.
that's not what she says at all.
That's why I'm gonna watch
I just
it.
completely made that up.
Everybody go watch it right now.
That was a good one, though.
Ooh.
That was really insensitive of me to say, but it was a good one.
We should like
If it's up to
duet it
stuck in a
with your
submarine.
impression and then hers.
Yeah. It was up to his stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, they went back and forth and back and forth. He went back and forth with Cardi B because it was actually pretty funny because she had this filter on of like I think it was like a skeleton was like around her, like holding its arms around her. And she was like having a serious conversation. It's actually it's really fucking weird. But anyway, they went back and forth and back and forth. So what actually happened to this vessel? I just found out right before we just started recording. I have been checking to see if they ever found it because before this I had not heard. It was still lost, still missing. So they did recover the landing frame, which is the frame that it sits on, and the rear cover, which is when you look at it, there's a round part and a pointy part. There's a part that comes to a point that has a window on it. So they recovered the pointy part and they recovered the frame that it sits on. So apparently it imploded. Like if there is an inconsistency, like if there's one little tiny pinhole and all of that pressure, it implodes the submarine. So apparently there was something that one of these safety checks didn't catch, or they never did a safety check to catch this.
Right.
And there was like a flaw and it imploded, apparently. But
and they know that because they just recovered a few pieces and they can tell how it bended.
They can tell how it happened. And I watched a video of how it happened and it literally looked like a crushed soda can.
Right.
Like it just disintegrated. And they said that it happened so fast that like nobody even know, like a millisecond. Nobody would have even known what happened.
Yeah.
Which is confusing to me because of the pings, like the bangs that they heard. Because if it imploded right away.
Right.
They weren't down there. It imploded right away. There was no banging. There was no suffering. There was nothing.
Well, it doesn't mean it happened right away as soon as they got down there, though.
I guess they could have hit something.
Like, what if they were like, one of them went crazy and was like, I gotta get out of here. And
they couldn't. Remember I told you they were bolted in from the outside.
Yeah. Well, if you have days of starvation and like, no, like, what if you're like working on a screw this whole time and then all of a sudden you're dead?
I mean, it's possible, but from what I heard, this thing was pretty human.
Yeah.
I don't know the word I'm looking for, but they couldn't have gotten out.
Right.
That's what I'm gathering. Every single thing that I heard was
That
that
in itself is terrifying.
my claustrophobia could never.
Like, you have to get in this tiny little capsule.
Yes, like
Go
I said,
way down into the ocean, into the dark. You
Yes.
only get to pee in a box and
Yes.
poop in a box.
right.
Even if it's only 24 hours. And you cannot get out unless someone saves you.
That's terrifying.
That is way too much trust.
That is what nightmares are made of.
Too much trust in other people to save
I know. And you're paying $250,000 a person
Do it.
to do
It
this.
sounds like torture.
Like excruciating.
Yeah.
As cool as it would be to see the wreckage of the Titanic, that sounds
I'm good.
awful. No. I'll look at videos on YouTube. I'm
I don't
good.
need to see it.
No.
We
That
all know what
sounds
happened.
Absolutely awful. Terrible. So, the dog has a bottle, probably.
I thought maybe Sound Daddy was carrying wires like around.
No, the dog probably has a milk jug or the apple juice bottle. I don't know if you guys heard that. There's a bunch of hubbub going on up there.
Hubbub.
Hubbub blue. So, and then, apparently the hull is like the main part of it.
Yeah.
It has not been found and probably won't be found because the way that they explained it disintegrated. Like
Okay.
the way when the amount of pressure that comes in on it just disintegrates.
Or like shatters, really.
Or shatters, I guess, and crushes everything.
Right.
So I was watching, and then I watched a video from a mortician, and she explained that their deaths were instantaneous. Like it happened so fast. They had no idea what was coming, and that because of the pressure and how fast it happens, the bodies, they'll never be found.
Right.
So that brings me back to the theory that they are, sipping drinks on a beach watching this all happen because they had to disappear because
Okay.
their bodies will never and can never be found.
Right.
Because they're part of the ocean now. And
How would they've gotten out?
maybe they were never in. I
But
don't
they were
know.
bolted in there.
Weird things happen.
Okay.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, it's not an impossibility. It's not likely. But, I mean, because they knew that their bodies would never be found, if this thing imploded and disintegrated their bodies,
it would be a way to disappear.
it would be a way to disappear because nobody would ever know.
Yeah. That you would pay a lot of money for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Interesting.
So,
Or they're like, yeah, we're going down. See ya. And they go down a little bit, and then they're like, come back up, and their buddy lets them out.
yeah. And then...
They got money. They can pay for anything.
And this thing was controlled via Bluetooth. The game controller was
Oh.
Bluetooth. It didn't have to be connected with a wire or anything. It was Bluetooth.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Like,
I'm pregnant. It's okay. Yeah. Also, if that's true, anybody could control it.
Yeah.
From anywhere.
because the guy in the video said that they brought multiples of the controller just in case anything were to happen to one or one died or whatever.
Right.
They have multiples of the
So you can
controller
just
that controls it.
connect.
Yeah.
Anybody could.
So that's why that theory makes sense, is because their bodies will never be found. They were crushed into tiny, tiny little pieces and most likely got eaten by a fish. Like they were crushed into tiny oblivion. Their body parts get scattered, they get eaten by fish, and they'll never be found.
That part makes sense to me.
Yeah. So that is what happened. They were crushed disintegrated. Unfortunately, it was not a good ending. If that's what really happened.
Right.
Conspiracy.
Well, I guess it is hard for me to believe that it's not possible
What's not possible?
to find any remains or anything.
Yeah.
Because it's there. It was crushed into very, very tiny, small pieces and in some of the deepest parts of the ocean.
Yes.
But it's there.
Hmm?
Like we were talking about last podcast, like DNA is still DNA, bro. You find a tiny piece of a bone. But
I don't
finding
know.
it would probably be impossible.
Yes, because
They don't know where it exactly happened. They don't know how far down it got. Like,
also
they don't know any of
they're
that.
working with the current of the ocean.
Right.
It was right next to
And like you said, animals, fish.
fish. It was right next to the wreckage of the Titanic.
Right.
So it's mixed in with all that hoopla.
Right.
They're never going to be found.
No, I don't
Nothing
think so.
is ever going to be
But
found.
I don't think it's impossible.
And they didn't even send someone down to get, like, they had,
Yeah, why would you?
they wouldn't. They had a, they apparently have a camera box that they sent down.
Okay.
That's how they found it. They had like it was like a rover. Oh, I want to compare it to the Mars rover, but I don't know.
They didn't
if
even
that's
bring the
accurate.
pieces back up, or they did?
I don't know. I want to say they didn't, only because what they sent down was, from what I saw, it was a little box with a camera. Like, it was a camera box. They didn't send people or anything down there. Yes, because of what happened. They didn't want to risk any more lives. No. I don't.
Interesting.
They found the pieces, but I don't think they brought them back up, no.
That would be sus to me. Like, if I was family, I'd probably want more.
Yeah.
Like, so you're sure
Right.
we can't find remains, and you're sure
Unless-
this was crushed. Like, I would want answers, you know?
I would want answers. Unless you're still out there and your family knows it.
True.
Why would they need more answers if they know they're still alive?
It's funny that, am I cutting you off?
No.
It's funny that you found this like super interesting, because I have, maybe I'll do it on a different episode sometime, but I have like pages and pages of research on a missing plane.
It's about that show. Have you ever seen that show? You would like that show.
Manifest?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No.
This is a real life thing. A lot of people probably know about it, but it was like a Malaysian plane.
Oh, yeah. I heard about it.
Yeah. But it's kind of like this, where it's like, except for there isn't really an ending. That's why I was like, is it a good podcast story? Cause
the cliffhanger.
But yeah, it's like a cliffhanger, but
Mhm.
there's like obviously conspiracies and like other things to like think about, which makes it interesting. But
Mhm. See, I think that's why I found this so interesting.
Mhm.
Because I was like, because then I don't think I would have found it as interesting.
No, because you'd
if
be
I
like,
didn't
a
start
couple people
to
went
hear-
down, they imploded. The end.
Right, they're gone. But then I heard that they were billionaires and like people
Yeah.
high up there that know things, and
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I got into the conspiracy hole, and I
Yeah.
can't get out. I'm still in it.
In
It's not. It hasn't. I mean, it ended because they found the crushed up submarine parts, but
right.
it's not over yet. I can guarantee you, there's more shit that's gonna come out about it. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
But today's the day
Big
that they
story.
found it, so they're still, they're still not saying anything. But I can
Now I'm gonna have
guarantee
to go
something else is
home,
gonna come out.
Search the Cardi B video,
Mhm.
and now I'm gonna have,
They're gonna go down
what's
the
it called?
claustrophobia.
I almost said sublime talk. Talk. Talk.
Yeah,
What is it called? Submarine.
sublimination.
Submarine talk.
Yes, you are.
I really have
If
to
it's
pee,
open,
so
stop.
I feel like that usually means the episode's about to be over.
Yeah, well, I mean, I finished it anyway. so.
Okay.
But I did find something interesting about.
Okay, I'll just stuck the tortilla in there. Go ahead. Don't make me laugh.
Don't cough.
I'm gonna pee on your tortilla.
Ew. I did find. Do you know that space shuttle that went up and blew up? Do you really? Back in like the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
There was like a teacher on it.
Mm-hmm.
I started down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
There's a lot of conspiracies about that too.
Guys, do you want to hear about conspiracies?
Because you do.
Apparently, we're into them, and especially when they have to do with vehicles.
Yeah. Rockets and submarines. And trains.
Planes.
Oh my. Well,
we gotta find a train one.
Train conspiracy. I'll find it. Don't worry. But anyway, I started down that rabbit hole, and that is what we can talk about in a conspiracy episode because I am about it. Okay. And I never heard anything about it until today. Everything that you learned in school is wrong.
Cool.
Is that a cliffhanger?
We said we weren't going to be a niche podcast, and here we are.
Nicheing
it.
You can call me Niche. Call me Quiche.
Let's change our name.
Niche.
Don't niche yourself.
Don't niche on my quiche. On that note.
All right. Love you guys.
Like it.
Like and subscribe to our channel.
Bye.
Yeah. For real, like and subscribe.
Please tell your friends.
Please.
We're desperate.
Please.